Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this evening's race at Bristol Motor Speedway. Here I have in the commentary booth with me is Jacob Nye. Jacob Nye, welcome.
Thank you, Andrew. Great night to be here at Bristol for the Winter NIS Series.
That's right. So, along with myself, Andrew Williams, Jacob Nye, we've got our very own Michael D'Amico operating the cameras as always. Big shout out to All Pro Productions and All Pro Racing for getting up their time this evening to telecast this race. So the track temp at the moment is, the weather is currently overcast, 78 degrees, track temp 78 as well, so it makes for good racing conditions. Winds coming in from the north, around about 4 miles an hour. Jacob, I think we're going to be in for a good one here at the short track here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Short track racing brings out the best routes for these racers. A lot of guys grow up around the dirt tracks and such, racing sprint cars, modifieds, even go-karts on the small half miles or smaller. And this is the best way to bring back their tradition, the bull ring racing, more or less. You're going to see some hard-hitting shots tonight, I think, too. What I'm going to be curious, though, Andrew, is if they're going to be running the high line like the Cup guys do in real life, or if they're going to be running the low line down by the apron, because the shortest way usually is the fastest way, but lately the Cup guys have been running them up high, so maybe these NAS guys are going to do the same thing.
Yeah, 10-4 on that, Jacob. It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to be operating. I'm just going through the practice sessions at the moment. So at the moment we've got 40 cars in the field tonight. We've got, I believe it was 39 took to practice and set a lap time. And with that being said, I'm just looking at the top 3 championship contenders at the moment, which are the Adam Benefell, William Dunn, and Mike Ellis, our very own All Pro Racing's Mike Ellis. Seeing where they actually put a time in for practice. I noticed the 43 of William Dunn was fair down the order. But it's going to be interesting to see what he's currently 19th. Mike Ellis at the time was 38th in practice. So it's going to be interesting to see where these guys in the top 3 of the championship hold up.
Yeah, definitely.
Actually, sorry, I just found Jacob Nye, the 83 of Adam Benefell, is actually was in 11th in practice. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. So car 83, right. 43, and 35 are the ones to watch in the championship.
Yeah, and the 83, sent the first message in practice by throwing down that fast lap. But already we're seeing a couple of times coming in, and there's, the guys who practiced in the back are certainly putting down some strong laps already. Like Mike Ellis, we just brought him up, 2/10 quicker in qual trim compared to what he was in practice. So maybe he'll have that run, get up here and not have to deal with so much traffic. But right now in the provisional poll, is Joshua Filia. He's running a 397, ran a 378 in practice, so fairly consistent.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So behind him you got Dan Murray in the number 5, and round out the top 3 is Teddy Wickel, is it, in the 68? So some extremely fast lap times there. So. I think I've been told it's Weichel, so Teddy, sorry about that.
So, Andrew, just going over here, like you said about the top 3 in the points. Coming off Daytona and Las Vegas, we're 2 races into the season. You mentioned Adam Benefell. He's first in points. He has that 7 points lead over William Dunn. Mike Ellis is only 2 points behind Dunn. But it's a tight race, I have to say, for the top 5. Whitaker, 75 points after 2 starts, and Baker, 5th with 72 points. And it goes down Dan Murray, Fonseca, Heischman, Dunn, and Vaughn. They will wrap up your top 10 in points. Andrew, do you think tonight they're going to have to start up front, or do you think a lot of accidents is just going to be survival of the fittest to 50 to go to make their move?
Yeah, you're exactly spot on, right, with what's going to happen this evening. It's going to be a bit of a mixed change. We've come away from the Daytona openings round as well as Las Vegas to now the short track, whereas next week they're going to move on to Texas, Indianapolis, and then they're going to go to the street racing, which is Watkins Glen. This evening, I think it's going to be a survivor mode. A lot of these guys would like to either be in front or just hang at the back. Some of these guys at the front already, as you said, it's a very tight chase in the points. So you don't want to give too much away, but just being amongst the riffraff, with the elbows out, bit of door-to-door racing could be enough to destroy any hopes you could get of taking points away. So it's a bit of a gamble tonight, Jacob. You could flip the coin. You could run either at the front and try and run hard, or you can just simply lay back and just. You only got to worry about the last 2 laps, 3 laps to bring it on home. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, and, we have the luxury of seeing the stats. A lot of the viewers don't get to see it, but when you're part of the series or the broadcast booth, you get to see the stats of what these guys do through the year, through the season. And of the top 5 in points, only one driver has an average start in the top 20. That's Adam Benefill with an average starting position of 5th. So he is proving staying up front is the best way to do it. But then you look at a guy like Mike Ellis and William Dunn, 26th and 25th respectively, average starting position. They're 2nd and 3rd in points. So they're proving you can come from the back to the front. And there's a lot of guys who I've been seeing are actually saying they're not even going to qualify. They don't want to be up in the first few laps of it. They want to stay back and save their cars more or less, maybe go a caution or 2, change the strategy up. I'm not sure what the fuel window is here tonight, Andrew, but I'm assuming some guys might do a backwards pit strategy if they get a spread out run.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, you're looking at 250 laps around this half-mile Bristol Motor Speedway. It has all the recipes for big wrecks. As much as you don't want to see it, you've got 40-odd cars in here. At the moment, we've got 31 cars that are taken to a call time. Who knows where it's going to end up? I think the best thing to do is make sure you got yourself comfy, you got yourself a nice drink, and just get ready to watch this race, because whatever it's going to be, it's going to be fireworks. You're talking about sort of average starts and average finishes before. Well, Daytona, we all know about the super speedways. You can start up front there, it doesn't mean you're going to finish up front there. You can lay in the back and doesn't mean you're going to finish in the back. It's one of those things where the super speedways, you get the big wreck. And I believe that's what happened. Then you move on to Las Vegas, which is 1.5 miles and a bit more calmed down. But these guys are going in here. I'm hearing a lot of chatter over the team radios about some of the guys, what line they should be taking, what the plan is, should they lay off, are they going to pit first caution or not to get back in the field. They're just going to. A lot of guys just want to wait out, see how the first few laps pan out, settle in. But Jake, we're just past the halfway point in the qualifying session, the open qualifying we have, which is 10 minutes, 2 laps. Sorry, not open. It's closed, and already we're starting to see the times just starting to drop. A lot of people are moving forward, but in saying that, the mid-packers move forward. But like Joshua Fillier, he's actually gone a little bit slower than what he did in practice, but he's sitting at the top of the leaderboard at the moment.
Right, and then you have somebody like Dylan Fitzpatrick, who didn't even throw a practice lap down, drove right out on the track, went, location A to location B at a solid 5:72 time. He's going to start 9th. Over here in radio chatter, it's fun listening to these racers. Give a little shout out here. Robert Roush is actually streaming our broadcast. Not a smart thing in your car. We must have an iPad or something set up in there, Andrew. He's sitting watching our broadcast from his car while racing. Yeah, maybe get a little pitch strategy and such. I see him talking about it and everything, and give him a quick shout out here. He ran a nice lap there in 11th with a 6:14. The guy I'm going to look out for, though, is that 01 Tyler Hudson. A lot of people know him from the Pro Series a season ago. This year, I forget his name, but he was a youngster, 15 years old, rolled the entire series of NIS guys over, Ray Afala and Tyler Hudson and others. But the year before, that 01 Ford Fusion dominated. He went out and beat Afala, beat Nick Ottinger and others to win the national championship. Tonight, fixed series in a 01, it's Bristol. I see him being a hard charger going to the front. I'm going to give him 125 laps, and he will be near the front, competing with these guys. But I know you and I both are pulling for Mike Ellis.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike Ellis has been one of the founding members here at All Pro Racing. He got involved with this NIS Winter Fixed Series League, and he always comes over and tells us what a fantastic race it is. And looking at the entry list here, the drivers on this list, it just goes to show this is definitely a league to be reckoned with, and the racing is going to be a great form of racing, very entertaining, and we're actually going to see racing rather than pacing. So I'm looking forward to it. I'd actually like to point out that the field has actually been capped, so the 35 starters, we're actually going to lose some of these guys from 36 back, which is a terrible shame. But maybe you've got to draw a win sometimes with common sense. 43 cars around this track, Jacob. It's not going to go well. So, it looks like we're down to 35. And we're just winding up right now for the qualifying to be finished.
Well, and then maybe that's what Hudson's here's waiting for. Maybe he's waiting to see what everyone else runs so he can throw that lap down, because there's 6 guys that have not run a lap yet. And, maybe they're all just sitting back kind of waiting to see what the times are and then go out and turn one quick one. We'll have to wait and see here what goes on. But again, beautiful night here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Where would you rather be on a night like tonight, Andrew? Sit out here watching these guys have a great battle, or sitting at home and eating a piece of pizza and watching TV?
Oh, you said pizza there. Pizza is one of my favourite foods, but I'd definitely rather be sitting up there in the bleachers with the fans, just ready to watch these guys go for it. I was just getting mixed signals about the capped at 35, so we are capped. Sorry about that. We are capped at 43 pit stalls, so we're just waiting. I don't think we're going to have anyone qualifying in late now. We're about to go. Qualifying will be finished within 15 seconds, so we can pretty much read it off with the 34 that have qualified. And it looks like the number 4 of Joshua Fillier. You're going to have to bear with me, Josh. More than happy to get a wrap around the knuckles for saying the last name wrong. He's going to be our pole man for this evening, which is excellent. But before we actually go back to the cars when we're about to roll off the grid, which we'll be doing shortly, very shortly, Jacob, I just want to extend another thank you again to All Pro Broadcasting, All Pro Productions, All Pro Racing, Michael D'Amico, for all his handiwork on the camera and taking time out to broadcast these races live on Twitch as well as YouTube. Don't forget to follow our Facebook page, All Pro Racing. We're also on Twitter, as well as Michelangelo's Paintings, who have been a long-standing sponsor for what we've been doing. If it isn't for those guys contributing, Jacob would just be doing nothing, virtually sitting at home on the couch eating pizza, like you said. So thank you very much, guys. We've got our cars on the grid.
We need to eat.
Yeah. We've got our cars on the grid, so we're just going to go through them. So in the moment, in pole position, we've got the number 4, Budweiser Chevrolet of Jason Fillier. Oh, sorry, Joshua Fillier. Is that how you say it? I think I'm saying it wrong. Sorry about that, Josh. Very presentable car there. On the outside of him, you got Dan Murray in the number 5, Amsol Toyota Camry. Great to see a Toyota in the middle there. Back in third, we've got the Ford of Daniel Roper in the Ometrics. On the outside of him, you got the Bandit Ford Fusion of Jacob Harberts. In fifth, we got the 68 of Teddy Weichel in the Reese Ford Fusion. And in sixth, we got Jason Miller in the 55 driving the NXSR Ford Fusion. You want to take over?
Yeah, and going from 7th on back with John Hathaway Jr. in the 04. My trading pains isn't working, guys, so unfortunately I can't say who you're racing for, but we'll get you out there. Adam Benefile in the 83, he's going to be starting in 8th place. Dylan Fitzpatrick and William Dunn are going to round out row 5. Going back to row 6, the 117 of Robert Roush with the 8 of Austin Gilraith on the outside. Number 10, Lance Nassier is going to start 13th, and Jeffrey Dorman is going to be on the outside of number 27. And then rounding out row 8, Colton Landis and Alan Roll. And we're going to go back through the rest of the field here really quickly for you, Andrew. 17th, Michael Kaiser. 28, Jay Brown and Keith Vaughn. Alan Pajarl, Nicholas Ward, Travin Morgan, Wesley Pistol, Keith Dunn, Michael Ducker, Samuel Harris, Mike Ellis, Michael Kinner, David Naughton, Vic Greenwood, Lee Pierce, Jay Heichman, Brian Goddard, Marcus Lambert, Tyler Hudson, Dalton S. England, Michael K. Baker, Tim Phillips, Matt Werrick Jr., Jeffrey Morissette, and rounding out the field in 41st, Jimbo Hickson. That's going to be your 41 competitors here tonight in the NIS Winter Series.
Well, thank you very much for that, Jacob. So as the safety car's got us underway, we've been given the 1 lap to go symbol. Joshua's in the number 4 Budweiser Chevrolet is going to lead us to the line. The outside, of course, is going to be Dan. Murray in the number 5. It's going to be interesting what we're going to happen here.
Yeah,
I'm hearing the chatter.
Be a Harry.
The chatter from the team radios has already started blaring out. The drivers at the moment are just trying to get in their 2 cents before we start going green.
Pull those seat belts tight, guys.
And here we are. Safety car is in. He's got the jump. Jason's away. Joshua, sorry, is away in the number 4. Budweiser, we already got the number 5 of Dan Murray in the wall. Dan Murray just came out of 4 and just exited up strap in the wall. He's managed to keep it there. Everyone's getting around the outside of him so far, but geez, what a lot of cars we've got in this. And there we go. We've got an incident now happening behind, going into 3. 96 is involved, the 24. And there's our first caution for the evening. You'd have to be feeling very devastated for Dan Murray there. Started off second, and we can just get a replay on that. He was up against the wall, heading down the back straight, and the number 5, Amsoil Toyota Camry. He's trying to stay out of the way, but it looks like the 96 of Marcus Lambert, as well as the 24, just had nowhere to go at the time. All the cars were banking up 3 wide and so forth, and everyone was checking up. The 11 just managed to miss the number 5, but yeah, the 96 of Marcus Lambert just went straight into the back of the 24.
Yeah, watching the replay there, it's easy to see he did spin his tires there on the restart. I think he was trying to get a good jump, and it just backfired on him, and he spun it until it caught. He got pushed up in the wall, and the way Bristol is, you get hit that wall, you're in trouble from the get-go, and it just caused the bottleneck there at the backside of the field.
That's right, Jake. Right now, I believe we're sitting with 4 or 5 cars involved in that wreck. I've got the 24 of Jay Heisman, the 30, the 96 of Marcus Lambert, the 30 of Brian Goddard, as well as Dan Murray, unfortunately for him, in the number 5. Hopefully the cars can get repaired, not too much damage, as we head back to the race leader. So we're going to pick up with Joshua. Joshua, I'm really sorry about miscalling your name before, and I hope you don't exit the vehicle and run up and give me a what for, but he's sitting comfortably at the moment. We've got the 61 of Daniel Roper just moved up. He qualified 3rd, so he's gone up 1 position. Teddy Wilkie also moved up 2. John Hathaway Jr., he's also moved up 3 positions in 4th in the 04 machine there.
Yeah, going down. Yeah, I was
it's a shame your trading paints isn't working, my friend, because a lot of these cars have got excellent paint jobs. And I tell you what, we actually have our resident paint at the moment, Pep. Pep's Paints. He does some remarkable paint work on any one of these iRacing vehicles that we have on display here tonight.
Yeah, definitely, and it's a shame because I'm a painter myself, and I enjoy seeing some of the artwork that other guys pull out, and unfortunately, it's just not cooperating. I wonder if it's from the, our crazy weather up here in the Northeast. Who knows? But hey, Bristol never ceases to fail to amaze us. Look at those fans in the stands right now, Andrew. They're all standing on their feet. They're all waiting for the next incident to happen. These guys didn't come to watch a NASCAR race tonight. They came to watch a demo derby, and, well, Bristol and iRacing never... You put them together, I don't care how many times, you'll always get a nice, fun race for the fans to enjoy.
Yeah, it's like they're a sick, twisted bunch of individuals. All they want to see is just wrecked cars and bloodshed. That's all they want. But nevertheless, you're right. The fans are on their feet. They're ready to go. We've just completed lap 7 of this 250-lap race. And I'll tell you what, it's only going to get better. And hopefully we can stretch these cars out a bit and get a bit of green flag racing in to see where the cars are sitting at and what these guys are going to be doing on their change. Remember, it is a fixed racing series, ladies and gentlemen, so there's not much these guys can do between the pit stops. All there is, your option is either take tyres, don't take tyres, take less, take whatever you want to do, but you can't actually make any changes on what air pressures or right rear spring offset or anything like that. They can't add tape, remove tape, nothing to help them for car handling except the basics. Well, the safety car is in. We're about to go green, and there he is. Josh has pulled away in the number 4 Budweiser. Closely followed behind in the 61 of Daniel Roper. let's say the 68 of Teddy Waike. He's done a slide job there on the number 15 of Dylan Fitzpatrick. So far, it looks like
it almost looked like Dylan there. I was going to say, it looked like Dylan kissed the wall there even when he completed the pass there, Andrew.
Yeah, that's right. We've just gone on to complete our first lap under green, so this is fantastic. Looks like we're going to do 2 at the moment, but Josh in the number 4 Budweiser Chevrolet is out in front, has a nice commanding lead over the 61 of Roper. Roper's being hounded at the moment by Hathaway and the 04 Hunt Brothers Pizza, and they're just pulling a nice gap on the 68 of Teddy. I don't think Teddy's able to close. Looks like the 61 got a bit out of touch, out of 4. He's down onto the apron, the 61. That's Roper. He's hitting pit lane, is he?
Yes, he is.
That must be an
safest
issue
for him, though. No, instead of coming up on the track, he got loose. He disconnected. He must have had an electrical issue or something going on in that car there. Something must have happened. Maybe we'll find out here down the road what went on. But
yeah, well, he picked up something wasn't right with that car, and he quickly brought it down to the safety of the apron, out of everyone's way. And in doing so, it's just made Josh's night just get a lot easier. So Josh is pulling out nearly 8/10 lead over Hathaway. It must be a night for 4s at the moment, because you got the number 4, the Budweiser Chevrolet. And there's a caution. There's a caution. I believe the number 8 got into the 55. Can we get a replay of the number 8, please?
Oh yeah, definitely, Andrew. That was as our producer pulls up the replay here for you guys. You can see that Austin got a little loose coming off of 2 on the outside there. And I can tell you from experience, from actually being at Bristol, having to sit in the grandstands and see these guys kick a lot more than you can imagine coming off the turn, and that's exactly what happened there. Austin was on the outside, broke loose, came down and hit the 55, and sent him, railing into the wall. It looks like some minor damage, nothing new for Bristol, but it's still a blow to the 55, and then he got collected there later on by a couple of their guys. Oh, you go and get pit road and stay in the lead lap. Survival. Still might get a top 20 out of this before it's all said and done.
Yeah, survival mode. That's what it's all going for. All the drivers now checking up, going into 3 and 4. I'm hearing some words on the radio that guys are going to be coming down pit lane at the moment. We've got the 117 of Robert Roche, is it? He's come down pit lane. Robert Roush. In the 117, he thinks he's going to take a bit of a breather here and get some tyres. Also, he's got some damage, but he's not the only one. He just did a drive-through, actually.
Well, no, you have to enter, Andrew, on sides of pit road. You have to
he's
come
on the
in
back
on the
side. He qualified.
route.
Yeah, he qualified 11th, so that would have put him back there.
Yes, so here at Bristol, for anyone who's never seen NASCAR races, there's 2 pit roads. You have to, under caution, enter into the back stretch pit road and drive through, and then go up to the front stretch pit road and get your 4 tires and fuel if you're on the front stretch. If you're in the back stretch, you go in, and then you drive around and exit out the front. But under green flag conditions, you just enter your pit stall on your pit road and exit out of there. You don't have to go around the track at 50-mile-an-hour pace speed.
10-4. Thank you very much, Jacob, for the heads up there. That's why Australians aren't very good at short track speedway. So we're actually getting a lot of cars coming down pit lane. There's a lot of cars that are damaged, as well as cars that look like just be trying to get out of the commotion. What's going on? I see the 43s on pit lane of William Dunn, one of our championship fighters inside the top 3. He's got a fair bit of front end damage there too, Jacob. So that's not helping his cause for this race for the 3rd round of the championship.
No, and that's, I was just going quick to look at the top 5 here, where they're at in the race. Benefil's in the top 5, at least. He's got a decent run going so far tonight. It's very, very early. I'll be worrying about points, though. Mike Ellis.
I did hear, sorry to cut you there, I did hear that Benefil was on the crew radio earlier. He does have some front damage to his Ford Fusion there. He's inside Sim Racing Ford Fusion. Whether or not that damage can be repaired much further, we're just going to have to wait and see. Who knows? But they're very luckily on a short track like this, where the aero package doesn't play much of a key factor as what they do on the mile and a half or super speedways.
Right, and pit crew can only get so much damage fixed under 45-second caution laps, whereas Atlanta and that you have a minute and a half. So thankfully, aero doesn't mean much because they can repair that damage and they can still salvage a run. But it looks like they're about bundling up here double wide again. We're getting ready to go green flag racing.
Absolutely. Double filed up behind the safety car. We've now completed 19 laps out of this 250. The stands are packed. It looks like it's a sellout crowd tonight. As we come out, the safety car's in, and Joshua's done again. He's gotten the green, and he pulls back out in front. Followed behind is Hathaway, the 04. You got the number 15 there of Dylan Fitzpatrick trying to battle with the 04 on the inside there. Doesn't get a good run. The 04's up against the wall. So as you said before, Jacob, a lot of these guys are finding the outside line is probably the good defensive as well as less tyre wearing line they're going to be running tonight. However, you've got the wall right there that if you make a mistake.
Exactly. That's the only downside to a run the outside line like that. First side-by-side race right now looks at about 7th or 8th place here. Kaiser and Brown are racing. I'm sorry, Kaiser and somebody else. They keep changing in and out. It's almost like super speedway racing. But the inside's dropping back. It looks like he's a parachute out right now for as far back as he slid. He was fighting for 5th, and all of a sudden now drops in back a few positions. High side is the way to be.
Yeah, 10-4 on that. So as Joshua Filio's keeping a nice lead, currently pulled out to he's in at 4/10 ahead of the 04 of Hathaway. Fitzpatrick settled back into 3rd, and now we've got the 83 there of Benefield in 4th. And then we've got the back to Teddy in the 68, who is currently in 5th and dropping back. So it looks like at the front they're all settling in. How's it looking
through the whole
down the
field,
line?
actually. Yeah, through the whole field, actually, Andrew, they're settling in. You go all the way back to 14th and 15th. That's where you may get the first 2x2 battle. These guys are single file. They already had too many cautions in their book, they believe. So I see them tempering down a little. It is Bristol. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, 10-4 on that. It is Bristol. Well, I don't think Josh has been able to pull away as well as he did earlier. Hathaway is still just hanging in there around about 4/10 behind. And now we're starting to see the 15. He's wanting to get amongst the mix as well. But they're all spacing out as Josh comes to lap the 44. 44 of Jimbo Hickson puts him a lap down. And Jimbo's he'll be the, if we do go caution, he'll be the lucky dog if he's not involved in the accident. So it's all happening, but definitely Josh is pulling away. He's pulled out to 4.5 now, half a second, 5/10 onto Hathaway.
Yeah, and you can already see where they're changing. I'm watching the number 4 compared to a lot of the field. He is apexing that turn, and he's coming down a groove and a half off of the wall on the exit. He has a run. He's more or less driving that car downhill, Andrew, to get a little more momentum, and he's pulling away. And if you go back through the rest of the field, I'll use Dylan Fitzpatrick as an example. He is driving, now he's driving a lane and a half lower, but a lot of guys near the back are just riding the turn safely in that upper groove where it's darker to try to stay safe. But Joshua's in his own little time zone right now. He's just driving lap after lap consistently up front.
Yeah, he's put on right there. Joshua's just really making a school of this as they put another lap down on the number 30. And I don't think he's slowing up anytime soon. He's we're just shy of a second off between Hathaway and Joshua, and he's not slowing down at all. He's this Budweiser Chevrolet is just really hooked up for him this evening.
Yeah, and to give you an idea of the differences in times too, they are all running the same setup. So 41's into the wall here. 41 hits the wall. 28 and the number 10 get a little bottleneck. I was actually riding along with them when I was explaining this. They are driving 4/10 a second slower a lap than the leader because they can't get that run because they have dirty traffic. We're 3. Oh, big wreck here. 12 clip to 41, and I don't think a caution came out for that.
Well, as you were just talking about that wreck that just happened, we've got the 4 of Joshua Filio starting to catch up to the big group of lap traffic, the 96 to 21. They're all there in front of him. It's going to be interesting to see how they're battling for position themselves, but now they've got the race leader right on their bumper. And it's going to be interesting to see how Joshua plays this out. The 21's just taken. He said, yep, go for it. I'm backing out. He doesn't want to be involved with what's going to happen. So that's good effort there by Tim Phillips. Now you got Marcus Lambert, the 96. He's still trying to battle with the 33 of Matt Wirrick. But you got the 4. And now the 4's been held up. Josh has been held up. Hathaway's really pulled back in the gap. This is what we come to short tracks for, isn't it?
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see because it looks like they're trying to go 3 wide in front of the leader.
It's not going to work. And look at that. The 15 got involved. He did a spin to avoid. I'm just hoping his car's okay. He got caught in there with the 69.
He got a little rear damage from that, but it's nothing that's going to hurt him.
Let's just take a replay on the 96 here, shall we, Jacob? And we'll see what sort of happened on his point of view. It looked a bit ugly there. So we're just going to have a look at David Norton.
Yeah, it almost looks like he didn't know the 69 was going to come down low like that. And, you know, he came down a little farther and the 69 came up a little farther, and just 2 drivers fighting for the same amount of real estate, both probably knowing in the background that leader's right there. We need to either A, stay on the lead lap, or B, you know, let him by. And the 96 had nowhere to go. He was already 19 laps down. So I think he was trying to check up and avoid it and just be smart. And when he did, the 69 came across his nose like that, caused the bottleneck that happened.
Absolutely. I mean, the 96 got caught up in a wreck earlier. It wasn't his fault. But further back, the race leaders was a 15. He's tried to check up behind Dylan Fitzpatrick. He tried to check up behind Hathaway in the 04, and in doing so, the 83 of Adam Bearfield. I'm not sure what happened, if maybe there was a quick little flash or a blink there of the 15, but perhaps Adam didn't see the 15. He got in the back of the 15. That's what created the 15 to spin. But in saying that, the 83 of Adam Bethel then went on to make contact with the spinning 69, and the 15 came back up into him too. So it's a hard race out there this evening, Jacob.
Yeah, and Benefield, he needs to watch everything he does because he is first in points right now. But with that being said, William Dunn is in competition with him. Mike Ellis is in competition with him. And as of now, scoring, granted, we have 208 laps to go. Benefield, I don't think would be the points leader as of now because William Dunn is in first place. He is the #1 dog right now. And going back to the field, then pit stops, though, have shaken this field up big time. William
Dunn is just currently leaving pit road. As stated before, he's still got some front-end damage, but he's luckily enough for him. But now that the timing loops come back around, so we've got Adam Bethel now leading. But he's missing a large chunk of front end off that Ford Fusion for his inside sim racing Ford Fusion there. We've got the 68 of Teddy Weichel in the Reese Ford Fusion. And the #8 of Austin Gurith is now up amongst them too in his Toyota Camry. So that's fantastic to see. We've also seen another mover coming up through the field. He qualified 21. He's probably the biggest mover at the moment, is Nicholas Ward in the 97 Delwatt Toyota Camry. He's now sitting there in 4th. And behind him is Wesley Pistol, who qualified the 94 machine, who qualified 23rd. He's currently sitting 5th. So laying back doesn't have to be the worst case scenario for you.
No, and, like you said, once we went back to the scoring loops, Adam did take the lead back, and I think maybe Dunn might have stayed out to get a point for leading. I'm not sure what their point system is, if it's 1 or 2 points, like the NASCAR system, but he got that point for leading. We're going back racing.
Yeah, they're double filed up again. Safety car is about to be given its marching orders. Safety car's in. Adam leads us. The 83 gets the green. He leads us to the green. As we go behind, we've got the 8 and the 68 side by side, battling it out. The 8 comes through to be second. Also, you've got the 94 trying to make a move on the 68. 83, something's happened to Bethel. Adam's now gone to the infield. The fight's still happening. Oh, the 80's got loose off the 97. Jacob Hubbard's just got a bit taily coming out of 4. It's 2, sorry.
And I mean, you can't even really blame it completely on the 80 there, Andrew, because as he was coming down the turn, the 97 of Nicholas Ward got loose coming off of 4, and when he did, he came across the side of the number 80, and then the 80 shot right back across the track into the 28, and, you know, caused mayhem from there on.
Yeah, you're spot on right. I just once you see it back in replay, it all sort of makes sense. When you're calling it from the fly, Jacob, as you know, my friend, it gets a bit. You try and call it as you see it, but a lot of these guys, I'm not sensing these accidents. What we're seeing between the cars and drivers are any bit intentional at all. It's just these caliber of drivers and the fact they're racing on a fixed set. Some guys like the set, some guys don't. As the only thing they can make changes on the set themselves is just their steering ratio and steering offset. So they have to try and get a comfortable car that they're comfortable with to last them for 250 laps, and it's an extremely tall order to ask. And I'm sure these guys are feeling the effects, but I hope there's no bad blood between everyone there.
Yeah, and this is a big story too right now, Andrew. Our points leader has retired to the garage. I'm not sure what happened there. I didn't see any damage that warranted him to have to go to the garage area, but he has retired from the race. I don't know if the pit crew's gonna try to fix it, but he has, for the time being, parked at 83 in the garage area.
Yeah, copy that, Jacob. I'm actually just trying to see if we can get a word with him at the moment, but it seems like he's not in a mood to talk to anyone. We can't get a hold of him at the moment to find out what happened there.
Well, I mean, there's always a bright side to a dark side. I'm a firm believer in that, and that bright side is going to be for your drivers like William Dunn, Mike Ellis, and Michael Baker, because now that leaves that pedestal up there, number 1, wide open. And it looks like Mike Ellis has, if the race were to end right now, and if I could figure my math quick enough, I think Ellis would be our points leader right now, and William Dunn would be only a point behind him. So that's just how tight these guys are.
Yeah, copy that. I've seen Ellis did a few pit stops earlier, but his 35 tide rod machine looks to be in good order now. Just try and have a quick squiz. Yeah, his Toyota Camry is pretty straight, so I think he's good to go. Who knows what's going on, actually? Let's try and see. Are we double filing up at the moment? We're on lap 50.
That might be by design, too, for Mike, because when I was talking to him earlier about this race, he said he was just happy to be in contention like he is, and maybe he's just being smart right now. He knows how some races can get, and, you know, maybe just pit and be as in control of his own destiny as much as he can.
Yeah, that's definitely Mike Ellis's way of thinking. He's definitely a master craftsman when it comes to his racing, as the field is doubling up. The safety car will get given its marching orders, and to lead us to the green is going to be Austin Gurrit in the number 8 Toyota Camry. Pace car is off. We're ready to go racing. Austin gets the green. He's shot away. He's lost it. He's done the wheels. He's spun.
Oh.
Everyone's checking up to avoid the 90. Oh, you're kidding me. Was that the 94 that got involved there? It was too. Wesley Pistol tried to avoid, and now it looks like he's got smoke bellowing out of his under the hood of his car.
Yeah, the number 8 there of Austin Gilreath, he just, I don't know what happened there. It looked like he hit the gas off the exit of the turn too soon in it. When he went to shift, it might have hit the chip, and when it did, it caused him to spin. And then once he spun, yeah, it looks like you said the 94 got clipped in the back by number 10, Lance Nessier there. But that's a bang-bang play there. Fortunately, that's the nature of short track racing.
Yeah, I think once Austin realised he was sideways, he just tried to get that car just to come down to the apron to avoid any further incidences with any other drivers. But unfortunately, it was a little too late, and It's heartbreaking. You know, he worked his way all the way to the front, and he did it himself. He qualified second, and unfortunately for him, at 12th. Sorry, qualified 12th. So to get to the front the way he did it was a tall order to ask. He was up for the job, and a bit of a rookie error like that. But hard luck to him. So as the time loop's now starting to get set back up.
Yeah, just going through the field here, and again, you look at the back of the field, you see the guys who started second and third and eighth, and up front, you see the guys who started 21st, 22nd, and 24th. And we got some problems going on here while they're pacing. Trying to find out what's going on here. Something happened.
I'm not sure. I've heard the number 4 was Joshua Filio. I heard him. He's not particularly happy at the moment with something happened. Let's try and see.
The number 74. The number 74 just came out of nowhere, sideswiped a few competitors, and then rear-ended the number 4 and ruined his night.
I didn't think the number 4 was bad enough for him to call it an evening. I mean, he obviously knows what he's doing. He's a talented driver. I just hope they can get that number 4 Budweiser Chevrolet sorted out and get him back on track as quickly as possible. He is showing some battle scars back there.
Yeah, I think something's going on with his connection. I think the 74 might have. Anyone who raced iRacing knows that once in a while you get connection issues. I think he might have disconnected. In theory, he couldn't see any competitors, and all he could do was drive the track, and then it reappeared in the middle of traffic. So it might be a network issue again, depending on where he's from in the world of the global aspect of iRacing.
Yeah, that's very true. When you come to the iRacing world, we have to rely on different things for our cars to go. And one is the connection and so forth with our internet providers. So I'm showing that Joshua Filio has got a bit of damage to his number 4, but he should be good to go. All right, pace car is off. We're ready to rock and roll. We've got the 68 of Teddy Wick. He's taken the lead. He's gone for the green. He's launched out in front. He's left the 97 behind. The number 9 is now coming through, Trevor Morgan. He wants to fight the 97 of Nicholas Ward for second place there. They're side by side down the back straight. Morgan to the inside, Ward to the outside. They're giving each other plenty of room so far as they exit 4. And it looks like Ward's going to get the second place. Morgan slips into third. Behind that, you've got Dunn, Keith Dunn in the 38. We haven't said much about him this evening. Started 24th up to 4th. And the 27 of Dorman, Jeffrey Dorman, is ran out of our top 5. So these guys have come from mid-pack to rear field. And now they're our top 5 drivers. Yeah, the 68 is looking to extend his lead now. He's sort of driving the same style he was talking about earlier with the number 4 of Joshua, where he sort of apex it and brings it down off the line to his advantage. He's really pulling away from the 97 of Ward.
And a power move there by Jeffrey Dorman. I'm just going back here to 27. Just went under the 38, passed him like he was sitting still. But don't look now. Gentleman by the name of Lee Pierce. 32nd passes in practice, 31st qualifier, 6th place right now. That's a guy on a mission. I don't know by pitch strategy or by willpower, but he is up here and he is fighting hard.
Yeah, Lee's driving the 87 Lowe's Century in his Chevy SS. It's actually quite nice how he's done that car up. He's got a bit of damage there, so it hasn't shown he's done it the easy way, but everything's looking good for him.
And just dropping back, they're single file for the most part, going through. Alan Pagerl in the 34, he just went by a 2-wide deal with the number 12, and a few other competitors here. Now you're getting mixed in with the lap down cars, and it's going to be interesting to see where they're going. But again, we got the 04 who just kissed the wall. That's the Bristol stripe, I should call it, not the Darlington stripe. But
as we're talking about that, sorry, Jake, I just want to say the 68 of Teddy, he's really extending his lead at the moment. He's pulled it out to almost a second, 6/10 to be exact, and over Ward there. And it doesn't look like it's slowing up anytime soon. So this is something we've been seeing constantly. Whoever gets that lead just seems to be able to just hold it and pull away. Now Teddy's getting amongst traffic and the 44's moved out. We've got a caution. We have a caution.
Yeah, it looks like the number 98 was involved here.
Well, what I'm seeing is lap 66, the 98 and the 4 down the back straight. It looks like the 98 comes up ever so slightly into the 4, and that creates the effect. It blew the 4's motor, so Josh's motor is being cooked. Also involved the 10, and I believe maybe the 21. Yeah, the 21 couldn't stop in time and got the 98.
You wonder, though, if that was part frustration from number 4 as well. Joshua was the leader for the first 30 laps, 40 laps here tonight, and untouchable. And now he got mired back in the field. You wonder if that might have been frustration kicking in as well, trying to get his way through the field quick, because he still had a fast car, and the 98 was off pace, it seemed like. I don't know for what reason, but maybe that was a little bit more frustration than anything, too, that factored into that whole situation.
Yeah, I'd probably guess you're right. You're spot on right there, Jake, with frustration. I mean, you had the 11 car, what was going to be down on the inside of the 98, and the 4 car, because they were catching the 11, and the 4s just sort of tried to hold on the outside. Who knows? I mean, it's just a terrible shame we've lost another driver amongst all this carnage. I hope the spectators are enjoying this. This is what they came for.
Yeah, these fans are getting exactly what they paid for. If I'd want to be a hot dog or a beer vendor tonight at the track, they'll be making a good bit of money from the fans enjoying this race. You're going to have your mad fans who are going to want to buy extra beer to drink because they're just mad. But then you have your happy fans who are going to drink a beer just to enjoy it. Hey, maybe even we can... How about you, Andrew? We hop in together and get our camera crew maybe a beer or two. Maybe they'll enjoy it too for tonight with this race.
I'd say you'd like a lot of Jaeger. If I know anything what those boys do, but yeah, so far so good. What I'm actually going to do, I'm going to use this caution to try and get a bit of a chat with Teddy. So I'm going to get a hold of Teddy. Let's try and see if we can get him on his team radio here. Hey, Teddy, you've got a copy, my friend. It's Andrew Williams up in the booth.
Yes, sir. I got you. You got me?
Yes, sir. I do. I don't want to hold you up, so please let me know if you do want me to get off your radio. But, mate, you've been having a good night. Can you please just let us know what's been going on through your mind and what's your plan so far?
Oh, man, I'm not used to being up here like this.
I like an honest answer like that. Now, just for my personal satisfaction, how do you say your last name?
Weichel, W-Y-K-L-E.
Weichel. Okay, where I come from the land down under, well, I've been saying it wrong, so I'm sorry about that, Teddy Weichel. I will know now for the next time. Mate, your 68 Reese Ford Fusion there is looking fantastic. Throughout the runs of all night, you've been looking strong. Is a short track race your main thing you like to concentrate on, or is it one of your weakest links?
I like short track racing. This track is really slick, though.
All right, well, I appreciate your time for that, Teddy Weichel, and best of luck to you. I'm going to let you go so you don't miss up this start. And, best of luck from the guys up here.
Thank you, sir.
Well, that was Teddy Weichel from the own horse's mouth, so it's Teddy Weichel. I'm sorry about the mistake before. I just saw the cars double filing up, and he's definitely put on a show tonight, Jacob. I definitely don't want to see it go. So the safety car's been given its marching orders. Weichel's now just floored it. He's out of there. I believe the 97 of Wardwood kept sleeping. The 9 of Morgan made it through. Now the 15 has come through. Fitzpatrick is up to third. Morgan now trailing Weichel for the lead. Morgan looking to the inside. Weichel to the outside. Fitzpatrick hovering behind me, stalking them. And Morgan's not able to get the job done that lap. But now the cars are all coming in now. The 97's back involved. So Ward is saying, hang on a second, let me back in. The caution's out. Caution is out.
Yeah, that was a hard hit by the number 15 of Michael Baker. I'm going back here to look here to see what happened. Sorry, it was not the 15. It's the number 2. He was in 15th. So the number 2 there, going into turn 1, looks like he just checked up a little sooner than the 04 suspected and clipped him and got him a little loose and hard hit. Counter steered a little too hard, went right back nose first into that wall and crumpled up that Ford Fusion. That nose pretty good. His picker's gonna have to throw a few Bondo piece of tape on that to fix it up for him tonight.
Now, this is where I'm going to say, I'm not saying it in a negatorial way, but was that, did we just start seeing the start of the bump and runs on the short track, Jacob, between the 04 and the 2, because it sort of wasn't a hard enough hit, but who knows, but it's just a shame that 23 got involved there of Keith Vaughan, as well as the 55 of Vic Greenwood. Sorry, not 55 of Vic Greenwood, what am I talking about? It's the 55 of Jason Miller also got involved. And the 2 is pitting now, so let's... Yeah,
you can see the pit crew throwing a lot of bear bond on the nose of that right now. Maybe even hacking off the nose partially in parts, because, like you said, they don't need aerodynamics a whole lot here at Bristol. They're just going to fix it as quick as they can to make it work.
Well, sometimes when you come to these short track races, with the front nose that the cars have on them, it actually restricts a lot of air, a lot of cool air going to the brakes. So with NASCAR only allowing certain ports for these ventilation hoses, now you're taking the whole front bar off. It's just allowing a lot more air in, but you lose that front splitter. So good sometimes, bad the rest.
And the couple of guys there, like with the 2 pit, it looked like he had a funnel coming out of side the car. It's going to force the air in, like you said, keep the car cooler for the night. So I don't think he's going to have to worry about he's not going to have to worry about overheating. That's for sure. Now
he definitely won't be looking at he won't be looking at the engine temp, oil temp, or brake fade. But at the moment, so we've got the number 9 has moved up. Travis Morgan, he's looking like he's going to be a hard contender. He was 28th in practice, 12th in qualifying. He's now sitting there in 2nd, and he's not doing it by any means apart from hard work and good, fast racing. So he's definitely got a good race car to watch. Also, at the moment, one of the biggest movers, if I could say, would be the Keith Dunn of the 38. He's up there. He's in striking distance. He's fallen back. The 43 of William Dunn is in front of him. Is there a relationship here? I'm not sure, but I'm sure we'll get down to have a chat with him later on. But there's some of the key movers and shakers at the moment, Jacob, that are coming through.
Yeah, and even Jeffrey Morset, he's just outside the top 10, sitting in 11th place, but Andrew, he started 40th. I don't know about you, but if I was racing tonight and I started 40th and I was sitting 11th, and I still have 180-some laps to go, I'm smiling ear to ear.
Oh, yeah, you'd definitely be happy right now. You'd be thinking, whatever we're doing, let's keep doing it and get her done. All right, so the cars are filed up. The safety car's about to be given its marching orders. Weichel will lead us to the lead, to the line, sorry. On his outside is Morgan. Weichel's gone. He's checked up. He's out of here. He's trying to get a good jump on Morgan. Morgan's there. Ward is now fallen back. Has let Fitzpatrick through. There we go. William Dunn now stalking the 97 of Ward. But it's all happening in the front 3. Just going into 3 and 4, Fitzpatrick got very close to Morgan. Fitzpatrick to the outside, Morgan to the inside, coming out of 2. Look at that, Fitzpatrick's got a good run down the back straight. He's now going to chase after Weichel. And now it looks like the number 9 of Morgan's stuck there on the bottom. He can't get off it. Now the 97 comes through of Ward. And that's going to allow also William Dunn, who's in the championship hunt, to come through as well. As Williams to the outside of Morgan going into 3 and 4. He's going to get it done. He takes a position
and Weichel
away,
better not
moves
be
up.
looking in his mirror. Yeah, Weichel better not be looking in his mirror right now, Andrew, because that 15 is there.
He's coming.
There and he is going. Well, okay, he's not there. He might be gone shortly. He is on a mission with that 15 Chevy SS of his under the 68 Ford Fusion. Coming off a turn 2. He is clear, so we'll see how good that car is, how quick he can pull away, or if Teddy Weichel can stay in touch with him with that Ford Fusion of his.
It's interesting to see. All right, now, so we're just watching the battle at the front with the 68 and the 15, as well as the 43 of Dunn. He's starting to get in on the action. Dunn's looking at that second place position that Michael's got. Michael looked like he went up against the wall. 43 of William Dunn's on the inside of the 68, and the 43 pulls. Yeah, he gets the position. So Teddy Michael lets another one slip by, but he does know it is early stages. Anything can happen. There's no point ruining a car right now. He'll get back in his groove, I'm sure of it, and he'll be back up there. But at the moment, Dylan Fitzpatrick in the 15, well, he's pulled over almost a second, actually over a second lead so far on William Dunn. Can Dunn pull that back? It's now stretched out to 1.2. We've got a caution. There's a big wreck, 87 involved of Lee Pierce.
Yeah, 17 and the 87 were the main run of that wreck.
Now, if we can get a replay of that, I'm looking at that on all different angles here at the moment between the 87 and the 17 of Jeffrey Morissette. He was the one who started 40th and was up there, but it looked like maybe a bit of netcode had happened between the two cars, which then resulted in contact.
Yeah, it was either netcode or the 87 saw 17 getting loose and save it, and he thought there was more room than there was and came across his nose. But we'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say it was the netcode issue here on iRacing, which is unfortunate.
And the 87 of Lee Pierce is smoking heavily as he's trying to make his way to pit lane. I'm going to try and see if we can get a quick chat with the 15 of Dylan Fitzpatrick here. I've just been confirmed that was not netcode, so my eyes have been booked in to be checked very shortly. I should be becoming an NFL
an NFL umpire. Referee? Yeah, you might work under that.
I think it's good that I'm not the racing steward for the evening handing out the penalties. Otherwise, everyone will be up at the hall after the race getting upset. Well, I cannot seem to be able to get a hold of Fitzpatrick to have a chat to him about his strong run in the 15 at the moment. He is on pit lane.
Yeah,
so we're just going to wait for all these guys.
Being an official, Andrew, nobody likes an angry Aussie. So we'll let you.
Hey, we're happy people. We're
exactly. God, nobody likes an angry Aussie. Everyone loves a happy Aussie. So if you're angry, we're scared. We're running.
No, we're not. That Crocodile Dundee movie, you guys need to forget about that. No one has shrimps on the barbies over here. So as we wait for the time alerts to update, I've got at the moment the 74, but he's going down pit lane as well. That was the 74 of Michael Kinner.
Looks like Michael Ducker is going to be on the leader in the 99. And
Michael
William Dunn, second place in that number 43.
Yeah, a few lap cars in between the two, but Ducker, I'm just looking at his Chevrolet SS at the moment. The Pennzoil is a great paint job there, and the car's looking fantastic. And William Dunn in the 43 and the STP. Well, Chevy SS, that's looking a bit second-hand at the moment. I really enjoy, Jacob, when we get a bit of a time to have a look at these guys, their paint jobs. They spend a lot of time making these paints look perfect and spot on. And Nicholas Ward in the 97 Toyota Camry is sporting a very nice DeWalt Joe Gibbs Racing paint scheme. And behind him is Travis Morgan in the number 9 in the Napa Chevy SS. That's another good one. So a lot of these guys have been watching the cars tonight, sort of going through them. Actually, if we're able to get a close-up of the number 4 on the hood, of the number 34, sorry, the 34, he's got big gut beer. And I like that one. So, but it's good when these guys are able to display their colours and stuff. All right, pace car's off. We're going racing. Michael Ducker's in the lead. He's got the green. He brings him to the line. He takes turn 1 on the inside. Bit of a fight behind him. You've got the 43 of William Dunn missing a nose. Goes around the outside of both of them, followed by the 97 of Nicholas Ward. So Ward moves to second. Travis Morgan in the number 9 moves to third. The 99's falling back. Teddy Weichels now up into fourth. He's got a nice clean car, but look at that. The car missing a front nose. William Dunn is getting it done. About to cross the lap 96.
He's points racing right now. He is essentially points racing. He knows points leader's out. He's trying to get it all he can. But the 97 of Nicholas Ward is not going to let him go quietly. Or Traven Morgan into number 9. They're going to race hard behind him. That's going to allow him to pull away here for a little bit and avoid the trouble so far.
Yeah, well, the 97 of Nicholas Ward was trying for an inside line on William Dunn. He just couldn't seem to make it stick. Now he's got Travis Morgan. He's trying to look for an inside, but he's just unable to keep up with William Dunn. And this is what we were talking about before, about the aerodynamics may not be playing a massive role as what they do in most other tracks. Caution's out again. Got a caution. It looks like the 49's involved of Colton Lanes and the 11 of Vic Greenwood. We're just trying to see what happened here. I'll make sure I wear my correct glasses this time and not say netcode.
Somebody ran out of real estate. We'll make it easy for you there, Andrew. 49 coming off turn 4. He didn't hit the wall, but you could tell he was anticipating to hit the wall. And when he did, he turned the wheel a little harder to the left than he was hoping, and what it caused the car to break loose just a hair and come down a lane. And, well, there was a car there. Unfortunately,
number 11
for
Vic Greenwood.
Unfortunately for Vic Greenwood, he was the buffer for the 49 not to hit the wall, so instead he hit him. And then the 49 spins back around the other way into the outside wall, and then gets hit by the 87, it looked like, and then the rest of the field kind of just tiptoed around their way around him. But yeah, that tough break for the 11. He was kind of an innocent bystander, and Colton in the 49 just on the outside there saw the wall coming and knew his car was already hurting. He didn't want to add any more damage to it, but in turn hit everything else after the wreck.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. I mean, you see that wall coming for you, you try not to, but you can't help it, just turn, and unfortunately he took someone else in the meantime. I'm just trying to see if we can get a bit of a chat at the moment with William Dunn, but it doesn't seem we have access to his radio. This is this is looking pretty annoying. But I'll tell you what we'll do. We're going to grab Mike Ellis here. Let's see if we can get Mike Ellis's radio. Hey, Mike Ellis, it's Andrew Williams up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah. How you doing?
Mate, I'm doing excellent tonight. I'm here, obviously, joined with Jacob Knight, but we're just watching the Tide Ride machine, the 35 Tide Ride. How's your race panning out for you?
Well, the plan was to stay out of trouble, and it's worked so far, knock on wood. I don't think I have a scratch on this car. I haven't got a 0X, nothing. And just riding on the bottom and letting these guys go on the top, and slotting in, in top once it, thins out a little bit. That's kind of been the strategy, and I've come from the back, so it's worked.
Well, at the moment, before leading into this race, you're currently 13 points. We've had the unfortunate exit of points leader Adam Benefel. William Dunn is currently leading the race. You're back there in 12th. What do you think? You think you got something for him to get it done?
I absolutely do not. I do not have the speed tonight. Car's not there for me. But I'm hoping for a top 10 regardless. So that's kind of how I go. I just kind of pick away at it. So we'll see.
Oh, fantastic, Mike. Well, you started 27th. You're up to 12th at the moment. We've just completed 103 laps and still got plenty more to go, but best of luck to you in the Tide Ride machine.
All right. You guys have fun up there.
Thank you. So that was Mike Ellis there in the 35 Tide Ride machine. He pretty much, he's an honest man. He doesn't have the car tonight to do the job, but he's going to try his best, and he always does. It doesn't matter if he's 3 laps down, 4 laps down, he will always race that car. Until it can finally no longer get across the line. All right, we're going back to racing. So safety car's been sent packing. 43, William Dunn has taken us to the green. Traven Morgan in the number 9 into second. 97, he's in third. We've got the 15 there of Dylan Fitzpatrick into fourth, and ran out of 5 at the moment to the 68 of Teddy Weichel. Morgan's having a look on the inside of Dunn out of 4. Dunn, he's running a very high line
too,
mid-track in the corners between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. He gets up really close against the wall, but it seems like it's not doing any justice to the guys behind him because he's able to pull away.
Well, I was going to say, it seems weird a little bit here on a short track to have momentum, but for the first lap or two, that inside line does have the power. But once these cars get spooled up and get the momentum rolling on the outside, their tires up to temp and whatnot, you can't pass them on the inside. But that first lap or two, Traven Morgan proved that they're number 9, just about clearing the 43, but then William Dunn just drove right back by him on the outside. And as I'm saying, there's Dylan Fitzpatrick in the 15 going for 3rd place on the inside, but it's the curse of broadcasting. When you say something, they do the opposite.
That's exactly right. It's because, they're in control. But I'll tell you what he's going to do here, the number 15 of Fitzpatrick, sort of needs to do a slide job in a way to sort of stop the 97 from coming back. And this is where the tempers flare up, when they start doing slide jobs and stuff and cutting your run off, and you're able to defend the line against them. But yeah, Fitzpatrick gets the job done. He's now up to 3rd. It doesn't look like he's slowing down. He's now got Morgan in his sights, so the 15's now looking to the inside of the 9. Coming out at 2, it's looking very promising. They head down the backside into 3. Yep, so there we go. Fitzpatrick's now moved up to 2nd. Now, what can he do, and how quickly do you think he can catch William Dunn?
Honestly, I think he can come pretty quick. He's going to run the high line right now because everyone else is running that. But he has the luxury of knowing he can drive that inside line, and nobody's going to be down there to block him. He has a car capable of doing it. If I was him, I'd stay a little lower because he just did kiss the wall in 4 there. It didn't hurt his momentum, but you do that 1 or 2 too many times, it's going to cost him the rest of the race. But a lot of drivers are trying to follow suit and see what he can do.
Well, here's a question for you, Jake. If you keep running that low line, you're going to put a lot more strain and put a lot more heat up into your tyres. I can't imagine he's going to be on to do that for too long, because his cars are simply going to fall back. But whatever he's doing now, he's really caught up on the bumper of the 43 of William Dunn, and he's closing the gap that was over a second to at the moment just be 3/10 behind the 43. So at the moment, Dylan Fitzpatrick is looking like the man who's got the car, and he's definitely got the understanding of this track. He's sort of hovering around. He's looking for an inside run out of 4. Okay, the 43. So Dunn does go to defensive line on 1 and 2. Fitzpatrick's got a good run out of 2. He's down the back straight past 43. So now we've got a new leader. Fitzpatrick has taken the lead again from Dunn. And I don't think Dunn thought that was going to be possible, but it's just amazing. This guy, the 15 car can work anywhere.
Yeah, that was a prime example. He was running the inside line, the 43 knew it, so he went down to block, and in turn it backfired, and the 15 just drove by on the outside. I was sitting here thinking he should be patient because they are getting up on lap traffic, and like I said, he can run that inside line, and everyone's just going to be running what they can smooth. And if the 43 got bottlenecked up in traffic, he'd just dive below him and lap traffic and go by him. But he did it a little earlier than I expected. Now he has to navigate through all this lap traffic.
Yeah, that's right. 10-4 on that. I'd like to just take knowledge too on the 44 there of Jimbo Hickson. He's currently 21 laps down, but he's making sure he's getting out of the way of the leaders. And well done to you for doing that, Jimbo. And I'm sure they appreciate it too. So right now we've got Fitzpatrick in the lead, followed by Dunn, Ward, Winkle, Harris, Morgan, Jeffrey Dorman, Kinder, as well as Pajari, and Jason Miller is running out of top 10 in the 55. So it's all sort of happening. This field is spreading out. Fitzpatrick's pulled a lead of 1 second over Dunn, and he's really starting to carve through this lap traffic. As we've had a few cars retired, the field's starting to thin out a little bit, just enough for where he's able to do this long run and get around this traffic without being held up for too much longer. But he's just making work look too easy, Jacob, and I'm starting to become a little bit concerned that perhaps he's tearing up his tyres a little bit too quickly. We've just got 122 laps in the book.
You would assume that, but he's if you watch him driving down low, well, yeah, you watch him drive here, he's following the 38 safely, and then he dies down low here, and now he has clean road. He can drive wherever he wants. So he burned his tires up for a second, but now he has clean real estate. Look out his nose. There's nothing in front of him except for that checkered flag 125 laps from now, 127 laps from now. but he is lapping the entire field. The next guy close to him, to put down a lap, is the number 35 of Mike Ellis.
Well, Mike Ellis, he's 11 seconds shy of the leader, so now gone 12 seconds, and these guys are doing approximately 15, or just then, Fitzpatrick did a 15.995, so it's only 3 seconds buffer. It's not much for Ellis, and Ellis said he doesn't really have the car tonight, but he's got to make sure he stays on that lead lap.
Yeah, and going back here through the field, a lot of the competition is being nice. 97 and Nicholas Ward just went through the lap traffic, and now Teddy Weichel is on the outside here at the number 2, trying to get by him to get, through lap traffic. These guys are thinned out right now, and you can see, if you look from our view, Andrew, you can see the high line are the fast cars, the low line are the slow cars, for everyone except for Dylan Fitzpatrick in that 15. He's driving everywhere. But the fast cars are up high, the slow cars are down low. And it's working nice. It's almost just like, if you stared at it long enough, you'd probably get hypnotized by the motion of these cars going round and round in 2 different speeds. But great job by the guys who are still on the track, like you said, with Jimbo Hickson and them just being nice, holding back and letting the leaders by, not harming anyone. But it's just,
absolutely,
right now, it's
with respect. And with these guys showing each other respect, it's something that's definitely encouraged in iRacing, and definitely with the NIS Winter Series as well as All Pro Racing. Respect is key, and what they're doing is fantastic. But I'd like to just see if we can actually get a shot of a car at the moment. Number 88, Samuel Harris, the Blackadder Chevrolet SS. He has driven his heart out tonight from 26th down to 5th, and he's running hard still. He's got Traven Morgan behind him in the 9, and his lap times, he's doing about 16.3 lap times. He is a bit slower than Fitzpatrick, but he's come a long way, and that young man, I'm sure he'd be smiling from ear to ear. He's definitely given his team and his sponsors a great run so far. So that's the 88 of Samuel Harris.
And another thing for to tell you too, Andrew, about Harris and Dorman, they're both from my home state of Pennsylvania. I'm surprised they made it to the track tonight. Last night our forecasters calling for dusting of snow. We got a foot and a half of snow in 24 hours in a lot of our state. So I'm surprised they must have got down here at the track before that storm hit. So good run though for the local boys up here in PA, watching them run up here in respectively 6th and 7th as they're just past each other.
Yeah, I've just seen Samuel Harris. Well, I was speaking about him highly. He was running 5th. He's now dropped down to 7th. He's allowed the 9 of Traven Morgan as well as Jeffrey Dorman through. So maybe it's just a pacing game. He's now got the 74 of Michael Kinner hard on his tail. As the 17 of Jeffrey Morissette moves out of the way, so Traven Morgan can get through. So it's good. Now we've got a lot of guys giving each other room. They do know we're going to have a long green run, so this is where you're going to see the moves not being so erratic or so fearful. The guys now know they're all going to slip into their own rhythm, so therefore they'll let this guy go this time because they know he's going to burn up and he'll let him back through. So this is where the drivers work together, and it's good to see this starting to become some good racing. But out in front, Dylan Fitzpatrick in the 15, 3.3 second lead. I'm amazed. I did not even think we were going to see some sort of lead or dominance like this tonight. He qualified 9th, so he definitely wasn't the fastest guy out there in qualifying. In practice, didn't even practice. So I'm not sure if there was a problem with the car or something like that. But for him to come through tonight to be leading in such a dominant way against William Dunn and the rest of the field is remarkable. So hats off to Dylan Fitzpatrick and his team in the Snap-on there, Snap-on Chevrolet SS for getting this car to sort it out, and Fitzpatrick was just blown away.
Now here's going to be the fun part though for Fitzpatrick. Has checked out, like you said, almost to a 4-second lead over William Dunn, and progressively bigger. I think it's 7 seconds to 3rd, so blistering pace. Look at the next 4 cars in front of him. Physically, the number 55 to 34, the 99 and the 21, all 4 of them are racing for position. All 4 of them are within a second of each other. This is where the patience is going to prove crucial. Is he going to try to go in there and just blow by them like he has everyone else tonight? Or is he going to let them sort out their positions and then pick them apart because if he pushes it too hard and makes a mistake, it's not just crucial, it's detrimental to his whole night, because he is the car of the field right now.
Oh, absolutely. This is where you got to start thinking. I've got this massive lead ahead. Can I make it again? Probably yes. And how much? Oh, here we go. Here we go. We've got a caution. I was going to say, what do they like for fuel?
Well, unfortunately, we're not going to have to worry about it. It looks like Samuel Harris in the 88 was having some issues.
I got him as having some connection issues there.
Yes. He had over an 800 ping. I'm going to blame that on what I just told you with the weather up here in central Pennsylvania. We had that foot of snow. He got loose. Maybe netcode somebody bumped him and spun him around. His connection already is dropping back to a mediocre connection. But that's a tough break for the 88. He was running fairly good up there. But right now, the gremlins, as we like to call them in the broadcast world, are attacking him right now. So, Andrew, based on what you've seen tonight so far, I mean, short of Dylan Fitzpatrick, who do you think can win this race? Well, we're pacing here, guys. Looks like we might have some technical issues up here in the tower for one of the broadcasters. Out front, though, William Dunn did inherit the lead, but timing here might change that around. Yeah, William Dunn is in pit road. So we'll see here who inherits the lead. I would assume Dylan Fitzpatrick is going to keep the lead with the dominant fashion he's been having in the number 15 Chevy SS of his. We're just past the halfway point, too. We're completing lap 1 of 47. We have 103 laps to go here for our competition. Again, we want to send a shout-out and a thank you to All Pro Racing, our broadcast here tonight. Michael D'Amico up there controlling the cameras and audio and visual effects for you guys enjoying our feed here on Twitch and YouTube. Also, want to send a thanks out to Pep Paints. They do a lot of all-pro racers as well as other racers here in the race tonight's paint schemes. Also, don't forget Skiers Marine. You want to get in touch with them, you know, if you look into the boating, into the water world, they're the people to get in touch with. Just go to our website. We have links connected to all these people.
Actually, that's a good moment you said about Skiers Marine. Even though they're based out there in I believe North America, Alabama, around there. But he actually sent me a nice set of ropes for we're coming into our summertime, lucky us here in Australia, for our skiing and wakeboarding. So Skiers Marine definitely. But check us out on Facebook. All right, face car is off. We're about to go racing. Dylan Fitzpatrick leads us to the line. In behind him is the number 9 of Traven Morgan. 55, Jason Miller is sitting there in third, followed by 27 of Jeffrey Dorman. 34 of Alan Pajari with the lovely hood paint job he's got. Maybe Pet painted that one for him. 97, Nick Ward. Nick Ward's now taken up to 5th as Alan falls back. So it's going to be interesting to see. But William Dunn currently now in 11th. Trying to get around them. Mike Ellis back on the lead lap too, which is fantastic for him.
I just hit the lottery, Andrew. Trading Paints is working.
Hey, must
now
be a lucky night.
These beautiful paint schemes you're talking about.
Yeah, now you can see them. It just opens your eyes. I mean, these guys, a lot of these guys have spent a lot of time and effort not only learning how to drive these Gen 6s around short tracks like this, but also their cars are just $1 million, you know. It's amazing the detail, the finesse that these guys put into painting their cars. So Dylan Fitzpatrick in the 15s definitely checked out again. Second half lead over Travis Morgan in the number 9. Jeffrey Dorman doesn't look like he's falling back. He's staying with Travis at the moment in the 27. He's currently in third. Nicholas Ward in the 97 wants to sort of get back up there amongst the mix, but I'm looking back a bit further to the 43 of William Dunn, currently in 8th. Still missing the front nose, and he's right on the bumper of the 99 of Michael Ducker.
Yeah, that's during the caution there, Andrew. I don't know if something's going on with our situation, with our connections and stuff, but I'm just curious. If something happened to Dylan Fitzpatrick, who do you think's the next best guy to win this race tonight?
Oh, sorry about that. Look, it's very hard. William Dunn is looking extremely strong. Jeffrey Dorman, he's now taken second place over Travis Morgan. Qualified 14th. That's far back in the field, but on race pace, he's there. I guess you're just going to have to start looking at these hard charges. These guys are moving up. You've always had Travis around the mix. You've always had Nicholas Ward in the 97 around the mix. Jason Miller is now up here in the 55. I know you got caught up in some dramas earlier. But it's still anyone's game. I don't think it's going to be a whitewash, but that's, if anything, does happen to Dylan Fitzpatrick, because he's just looking too strong at the moment.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't want to see anything happen to him. It's like, wait, he's dominating. He can catch him. And like you said, Dorman is moving very strong right now. Just under 3 seconds out of the lead. But Dylan's getting close to that wall, a little too close for comfort. Maybe he's one of these drivers down there watching the race in his car while he's racing, and he'll hear us and he will drop it a little lower, but there he kissed it, coming off of right in the middle of the turn of 1 and 2, so you never know.
Well, at the last few laps there, the only person who's been lapping as fast as or as near Fitzpatrick is Dorman. In saying that, as well as Travis Morgan, and then they're going to make me a liar because also Nicholas Ward in the 97. So, yeah, it's between the top 4, they're all lapping very similar.
What happened to Jason Miller? He just down pit road. And number 55, he was running in 6th place at the time.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
His engine let loose. All that nose damage on that Ford. I'm going to say it was that grill, that fake grill insert they run. It just kind of went up and it blocked the air dam on that front of that Fusion, and his engine just grenaded on the backstretch. So that's another position for all our guys who are on the lead lap to move up. And, not to harp on him, but Mike Ellis, 11th place. Keep moving on up.
Yeah, that's hard to swallow there for Jason Miller. He was looking very strong there, and for that motor to let go the way it did, it's very upsetting.
And we might have a connection issue for Travis Morgan as well, Andrew. Trying to click on him right now to follow him, and he's not on the track. He is gone.
No, he's back now. I've got him back in 11th lap down.
Yep, he came back in and neck-coated back a lap down. So another heartbreaker for one of our top runners.
Yeah, a lot of the guys, their quality is starting to lack. So also not only the 9, but also the 30 and the 68 are all starting to show lacking symptoms of connection issues. I just hope that it's all got sorted to finish this race off.
And let the business pick up. The 88 just got into the number 35 of Mike Ellis and spun Mike around towards pit wall. No caution came out. He's still running, but now Mike Ellis is a lap down in 11th place.
It's all starting to happen now, but you're looking at the front. Dylan Fitzpatrick's pulled nearly 5.5 second lead over Nicholas Ward, the 97, and Jeffrey Dorman's relegated back to 3rd. William Dunn has definitely done a very good drive. Actually, I don't know what's happening because he's glitched back on now. He's got the front end of his car back on there, so I don't know if it's connection issues somewhere. But he's moved his way up to 4th. Nearly 8 seconds off the lead, or 8.2 seconds off the lead, pardon me. But who can stop Dylan Fitzpatrick? I think that's the question that needs to be asked.
If who's going to stop him? Dylan Fitzpatrick is going to stop Dylan Fitzpatrick. That's what it's coming down to tonight, I believe. He is going to be his own worst enemy tonight it depends if he wants to get aggressive or not and cause his own problems. Because if he just cruises right now, I believe they're going to have to pit one more time. Now, that could be the X factor, those pit stops. If we have to pit under green flag, that could be huge if you enter on the wrong pit side, or take 2 tires versus 4 tires, or speed down pit. You know, all those fun things that these guys talk about week in and week out could happen because our field is getting smaller and smaller, so the opportunity of getting a wreck is less and less.
Yeah, 10-4 about our field getting lower and lower at the moment. I think the lowest car we've got still turning laps is the 44 of Jimbo Hickson, and he's back in 20th, 45 laps down. The next driver is the 30 of Brian Goddard. He's currently 19th, 14 laps down. And the 17 of Jeffrey Morissette is 13 laps down. He's just moved up to 17. So, but Samuel Harris is parked it. David Norton in the 69 is 7 laps down. So, yeah, a lot of these cars are battling towards just to try and make the end here, Jacob. As Dylan Fitzpatrick just comes around the 69 of David Norton, and David looked like he got a bit loose there. But also, not only that, he just swipes by the 35 tyre right of Mike Ellis. And this guy's just getting it done tonight.
I was going to say, we can do it quick because there's only a handful of them. Let's do a lead lap rundown quick of the top 8. First place, and at number 15, the Snap-on Chevy SS Dylan Fitzpatrick. He is almost an 8-second lead over second place, the DeWalt Chevy, or Toyota, I'm sorry, of 97, Nicholas Ward. Then you go back 9.5 seconds back. Our first real battle for positions. We have the 27 of Jeffrey Dorman in that Red's Apple Ale car up against William Dunn in the STP Richard Petty Retro Paint Scheme. As I say that, the 27 breaks loose off the exit of the turn. He's safe, though, no problems. And then you go back, Michael Kinner in 5th place in the number 74. 34 of Alan Pajari. Then the 99 of Michael Ducker. And then the last car on the lead lap, as of now, because you have the 15 on him, is the number 21 of Tim Phillips. But I have a feeling that's not going to last long.
Yeah, for how much longer? But you got the 68 is currently 3 laps down. It's a shame what's happened to Teddy Weichel because he's right on the hammer of the 15. But it looks like Bristol tonight is the Dylan Fitzpatrick show. He's definitely putting on a clinic out there, and his dominance is just absolutely just mind-boggling. A bit taily out of 2, sorry, into the back straight. Had to 21 on the outside of him. But Dylan Fitzpatrick, we're just sitting back in awe of his in his show of times in racing here at Bristol Motor Speedway this evening.
Yeah, that was more of a break of his run. You know, he's been running that high line smooth. Let's go down to the low to 21. I think it went a little lower than he wanted and just got a little squirrely. But he can risk that right now because he has a 8.5 second lead.
Whoa, some action. He's had to check up on the back straight. We've had some action, the 44, the 38, and the 99. I don't think anyone touched, but everyone was just getting congested there with the 2 as well. And Dylan's got plenty of time to lay off the gas.
Smart. Yeah, right now he needs to be smart.
Yeah, you see the flames coming out the exhaust there. He's just laying off the gas. He's just making sure he gets by with no incidents. And
but I will give him this: he is as good of a driver as I'm giving him credit for right now. In watching him, he wants to lap the whole field because how many people can say they've done that on a live broadcast for NIS? The Winter Series lap the entire field. At this pace, he could do it.
Absolutely, the pure dominance he's showing. I mean, some people say, you know, look, if this person had not wrecked or that person not wrecked and so forth. I mean, imagine if we still had some of the hot shots that are in here earlier setting the pace. Would he be where he is? But I sort of can't yes or no. I mean, he's fast. He's definitely fast. If we still had Joshua Filliar in here or Dan Murray, Daniel Roper, I mean, his lap times are still as fast as what those guys are doing. And, you know, what we said at the start of the show here, Jacob, was survival, survival, survival. And
yeah, definitely. And while we have a chance here, while it's we're just kind of playing follow the leader, and it seems like for 15. We want to give a shout out on behalf of us here at All Pro to our normal commentators, JP3 and Mitchell Reeves. Both were unable to make it here tonight. Don't worry, guys. We're keeping your seats nice and warm up here, but you might have to pry us out of it for next week. We might want to come up here for Texas. These guys are fun to watch.
Absolutely there, Jacob. Texas is going to be next week with the 334 lapper. And who knows what that's going to produce. After that, they're moving on to Indianapolis for 80 laps and 45 laps at Watkins Glen. And then they've got the 100 lapper at Auto Club Motor Speedway. So next couple of races, all of them are actually going to be fantastic to watch. So whether or not I'll be cried out at the booth, I don't mind. I'm just going to have to obviously watch it live on Twitch or on Twitch or on YouTube, but I look forward to either one.
Yeah, well, Fitzpatrick just put a second advantage on one lap over the 97 and the 43, so he is in his own area code. But I'll tell you what, Nicholas Ward, the 97, and William Dunn, the 43, still are right there with each other. They haven't changed positions, but they are ready to attack on each other. I didn't think the other night, Andrew, we were going to have a 6-car lead lap situation, soon to be 5-car, with 55 laps to go.
Yeah, I'm definitely hearing that. I was actually just trying to see if I could pull up some sort of point scoring system to find out where Dylan Fitzpatrick's currently put in the points, and I'm having difficulties trying to acquire that. He definitely was not in the top 11, so I'm not sure how he phased in the previous races. But going by what we're seeing in the racing at the moment,
yeah, it honestly looks like right now, William Dunn is going to be your first place driver in points. Mike Ellis is probably going to be second, and there's an outside chance by looking at this that the other Dunn, Keith.
Yeah, Keith. He's going to move up from 9th. So
yeah, he's going to move up big time because I don't see Heischman, I don't see Fonseca. Dan Murray, I believe, is out. If he was even, yeah, he is out. Michael Baker, I don't see him anywhere near the front. Whitaker, I don't see anywhere. He could have a huge points night, a huge points boost, and taking up possibly 3rd, but I'm going to say maybe 4th. I think Adam Benefiel is going to get enough points to stay in the top 3, even though he had a rough night tonight.
Well, just watching as the laps roll on, we've just clicked to lap 200 here, so 50 laps remaining. The 15 of Fitzpatrick is now stalking the 27 of Jeffrey Dorman and the 74 of Michael Kinner. And he's just about to put a lap on Dorman. So that now leads only 4 cars on the lead lap. And shortly, he's going to be on the bumper of the 74 of Michael Kinner to even put him a lap down. So he's not slowing up anytime soon. And I've got to be wondering, is he actually trying to make a joke of everyone tonight? His dominance is just so... something you just don't see at a short track racing like we're racing at this evening with this level of competition.
Yeah, and I mean, the one thing I will say, yeah, it kind of is hard to believe he's doing this, but at the same time, it's nice to watch all the different battles going on right now around the track with no cautions. These guys are racing 100 mile an hour in the turns and 130 down the straightaways on a half-mile bull ring. And you know what they're doing? They're racing door to door, lap after lap, 250 laps, 2 turns a lap. You sit in your car and imagine turning that wheel 500 times. That's what these guys are doing right now. And
well, hang on a second, Jacob. That's not taking into consideration any sort of counter steer or avoiding steers. But,
hey, if your car is running perfectly, you're going to turn it once to enter the turn and turn it to exit off the turn. But that's one full turn because you're going 90-degree left and then back straight. I don't know about you. I know I race iRacing a lot. If my wheel's not near me, like really close, I get tired after 25 laps at, say, Daytona. So imagine 500 times you're turning here tonight. And like you said, don't forget to factor in your wheel spin, counter steering, and your clutch, your brake, your gas pedal. This is a long race for these guys, an excruciating race. And Dylan Fitzpatrick is still running as fast laps now as he was 50 laps ago with the same set of tires.
Yeah, I mean, we just clocked him at a 16 flat and still rocking it in. William Dunn is currently doing a 16.2 and Nicholas Ward with a 16.4. So he's definitely, there's 4/10 stretches out quite nicely. The distance between Fitzpatrick to Dunn is still around about 11.9 to 12 seconds, and Fitzpatrick to Ward is 12.6. So
and
I'm
that was
actually
before the
eager to
timing
see.
bar.
Sorry?
That was before the timing bar.
Yeah, I'm
Now
actually,
it's
it's gone to a
even
13. I'm eager to see, can he get it done? Can he get everyone lapped?
I'm telling you, I know how I am if I'm racing, and if I knew I had that good of a car and I could lap the whole field, just for bragging rights, I would do it. And, maybe that's the way he's thinking, or maybe his car's just driving that good.
Yeah, I mean, whatever the team done there with their snap-on Chevy at the moment, it seems to be working, and he's definitely in his groove. He's enjoying his racing at the moment. It's a shame we can't get on the team radio to have a chat to him, because I'm pretty sure he could probably even have a chat, make a coffee, and maybe even fix us up a few bagels or something as well. He's just that relaxed. He's got that car in the groove.
Yeah, this is, and keep in mind too, this is all a fixed setup. He is running the same setup as every other driver on the track that he is lapping and blowing by like they're sitting still. So it boils down to either A, this setup is built very good for him, whether it's tight or loose, and he knows how to drive it, or he just had all the luck tonight. I mean, it looks like he has a little bit of cosmetic damage, but either way, that 15 car is the car of the night. 35 more laps. That's all he needs to run clean, and this race is his.
Absolutely. I mean, it's amazing. We've done 250. I mean, when we first sat here this evening, Jacob was looking at it. We're thinking 250 laps to go. We had 40 odd cars on the grid. How is this going to go? But did any of us think at that time we'd be seeing one car showing complete dominance amongst the other drivers to the point where he's almost lapped the whole field?
No, because I was even throwing it about. Like I said, I got to hang out with Mike Ellis in the pits a little before the race, and when he told me tonight's race was at Bristol, I was like, oh great, because anyone who's familiar with iracing, when you get into these drivers who have lower splits, and I stress lower splits for anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's your I rating, it's how good of a racer you are. And if you have a higher number, you race against the higher numbers. If you have a lower number, you race against the lower numbers. You're against your level competition. When I heard Bristol, I said, oh boy, we're going to be in for a long night. First 100 laps were a little rough. Since then, oh good lord, it has been this is like going to a school to learn how to drive a race car around Bristol if you ride with the 15. Because he is doing everything right. Everything. High line, low line, middle line. I almost want to say he could put his car in reverse right now, Andrew, and still pass people.
Well, I'll just let you know now, he's just put the lap on the 97 of Nicholas Ward. There's only one driver. That's currently William Dunn in second place in the 43 STP Chevy SS. Is the only other lap driver on the lead lap at the moment, and he's actually coming up to put a lap on him. We're sitting on lap 222, about to go 223. So the laps are winding down. Fitzpatrick's now got Dunn in his sights as they exit out of 2, and this comes back to a race again. Can he get it done? He looks to the outside in 3.
First and second are racing for the first time in 100 laps. But on different laps.
There you go. Fitzpatrick looking to the inside. You got Dunn on the outside. Fitzpatrick pulls to the inside. Dunn's got the better exit, more momentum on the outside line, but Fitzpatrick's not giving up. He's still trying that inside line. Let's see what these tyres can do.
43
Dunn's
is showing right
go.
now. He is showing him why he's the second place car. He's not no slouch, but hey, it's for the first time we're watching the leaders battle side by side.
Yeah, even though there's a lap apart, but that doesn't matter. They're finding it hard, and they're giving each other plenty of room, which is good to see. But Dunn is not going to go down without a fight, and Fitzpatrick is just won't give up either. He's just, I don't know how his tyres are even gripping still. He's been up, down all night. And
but there's the problem with that inside line. There is the perfect example. You cannot get the run off the exit. And the 43 has a good car that he can stay up high, but it just, he's not going to get that low line up or get that high line up again.
I wonder if Fitzpatrick's going to try and use this 30 car as sort of a pivot point to get a run. It looks like he's going to, because now the 30's got a dilemma. What does he do?
And it backfired.
The 30 held up the 15. I'm sure that wasn't meant to happen that way, but what do? You look up, the poor guy in 30, Brian Goddard's just cruising down the back straight, looks in his rear view, and he's got the 43 and the 15 breathing down his neck. I'm glad I'm not seeing issues at the moment. His heart would have been pounding. Here we go, the 15's looking again.
Yeah, keep in mind, last night the 15 and 43 were side by side. The 43 went low to block him, and the 15 went high around him. So the 43, I know William Dunn is not going to get that outside lineup for one, and two, pride, second place. You do not want to be that first car lap down in second place. So he's going to drive the wheels off that STP. Well, hey, it must be the paint scheme. Remember, back in the day, the STP car, Richard Petty, always used to win races and finish in races that only 2 or 3 cars finished on a lead lap. So bring it back to the good old days with the old retro paint scheme there.
Yeah, I think it's happening. But while these two are battling it out, we've just clocked over lap 232. We're back to, 231. Now we've got 232. So the laps are dying down. We're down to 18 laps to go, 19 laps to go. We've got the 97 now of Nicholas Ward starting to catch them. I think he's saying, well, hang on a second, boys. You all want to fight? Let's bring me in there. I don't want to be a lap down. As they're starting to catch up on the 21, the lap car of the 21, Tim Phillips. I wonder if Tim Phillips, they're going to use him as a pick this time. And now they've got the 99 in front of Tim, of Michael Ducker, in case that doesn't work. So it's going to be interesting racing towards the end. No one's giving off. The 97's really pulling in some ground. Looks like they're going to go to the outside of the 21. The 15's backed off a bit. Fitzpatrick's come off done ever so slightly.
If I was the 15 right now, Andrew, I'd be laying off. Let those tires cool off a minute. You just drove your heart out trying to get around them. Let them cool off, and with like 8 to go, make a power move. If you're not going to do it, you're not going to do it. He's not going to beat you for the position, but let it cool off for a minute, because I don't think he's going to do it right now. That 43 is on a rail trying to hold him back there, and there's just too much traffic to be dealing with it.
I don't think the 15's definitely going to listen to us. Dylan Fitzpatrick, I've actually been taking notes of how he's driving. He's taking us to school that badly.
And
but they're still side by side. They're coming up on more lappers. It'll be interesting to see if the 97 of Nicholas Ward can get amongst this action to see a bit of a three-way tussle here. Oh, there you go. Dunn's in the wall out of 4. But 15.
Yeah, but I'd rather be in the wall than
up.
stuck behind traffic.
Who did you get held up by? The 23 of Keith Vaughan. So that didn't work for Fitzpatrick there. But the last time in William shows, William Dunn a lap down. So there you go. He managed to get everyone a lap down, but William Dunn's fighting for this. And
William Dunn is not. He is not done. No pun intended.
No, by
William.
far done. He is what you'd call him in a steakhouse, extremely rare. He doesn't want to be anywhere near done. But it looks like the 15 of Fitzpatrick's finally got the run on him. He's come up against. He's using the high line now. So that's it. William Dunn is done. Unless William Dunn can fight an inside line on Fitzpatrick, which we have not seen this evening happening at all. It's going to be an interesting race. So where are we on lap 240?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see here. He needs to just be smart and smooth here. Hopefully his internet doesn't mess up. Hopefully he has no engine problems, because this is his for the taking.
So we've got 10 laps to go. It took Dylan Fitzpatrick 240 laps to get the whole field lapped. He's done it, and now he's moving on. He's actually pulling more of a lead. I wonder what's going to happen when the checkered flag comes out, Jacob. Is he going to stop or is he going to keep going? He just must love this place.
Yeah, he's going to be going into his garage area after this race and go, why can't we come back here next week? Because he is driving a masterful race. I will give him props from beginning to end. Great driven race here by the 15. And as well the rest of them. I mean, we keep talking about him because he is our leader. But William Dunn, great job tonight. Nicholas Ward, and we're not done yet. We still got 8 laps to go. But we can almost say who our top 6 are solidly. And then even from there on back, I still think we could too. But we still have to finish the race here for 7 laps. I'm sorry,
absolutely,
5 laps. I was on 2 laps down cars looking, and their telemetry said 7 to go. Well, of course it is for them. They're 2 laps down. It's actually 5 to go, 4 to go now this time by.
We still have a battle happening here between Nicholas Ward and William Dunn. They're not finished between their little battles there, but it's whether or not Nicholas Ward can get any closer to William to try and take that second position away. As Patrick now leads us to lap 247. We're starting to die down. He's making an outside run there on Mike Ellis. Gets it done quite convincingly. He is starting to look like he's having a few issues there. Blinking out.
Yeah, he's been doing that off and on all night tonight. I don't know if that's him or maybe where the iRacing server is up in Massachusetts with the storm that came up the coast. But nothing that's been a problem, I don't think. 2 to go this time by.
And he's got the 27 in his scopes of Jeffrey Dorman. He did a nice overtake earlier on Keith Dunn. It's going to be interesting to try and have a chat with Dylan Fitzpatrick at the end of the race. We don't have his team's radio. He's on his last lap. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. So what we've been sitting waiting for over an hour and a half. The 15 of Dylan Fitzpatrick in the snap-on Chevrolet SS. Qualified 9th. Took the lead. Stayed out of trouble. And he takes the checkered flag here at Bristol Motor Speedway for the Winter Fixed NIS Series. Well done to Dylan. In second place, we've got William Dunn in the 43. Nicholas Ward comes home third in the 97. Michael Kinner in the 74. Jeffrey Dorman in the 27 behind in fifth. 6th will be the 34 of Alan Pajari. Coming out of seventh tonight is Michael Ducker in the 99. Tim Phillips is in 8th in the 21. Teddy Weichel, he put on a good show earlier on. Unable to get it done. A few issues came his way in 9th. Traven Morgan. Unfortunately for his issues he had, losing a few laps, he comes home 3 laps down in 10th. So, and our very own Mike Ellis is 5 laps down in 11th spot in a 35 tide ride machine. Keith Vaughan ended up in 12th, 6 laps down. Keith Dunn, 7 laps down in 13th. Michael Baker, again 7 laps down in 14th, and David Norton in 15th there in the 69 machine, so in 9 laps down. So this is interesting to see how we're going to get this underway, but while we're trying to get a hold of the race winner this evening, we managed to tap into the radio of third place getter Nicholas Ward. Nicholas Ward, you got a copy?
Yeah, I've got you.
Nick, you did a good run. You in practice there, you were 16th, you qualified 21st. You brought yourself down into third place tonight. You had a good run at the lead a few times. Tell us, how was your evening?
It was alright. It was kind of interesting there at the start, starting back there in 21st place. It was just, plan was just to try and survive the whole night. And then ended up top 5, and so I just kind of kept digging and restarted second once and put it in the wall, and then my goal for the night was just to try and finish top 5.
Yeah, roger that. You've definitely put on a good hard run. It wasn't easy at all. How did you feel about the clinic that Dylan Fitzpatrick just put on? Just dominated everybody.
Oh God, I didn't know what to think of it. He came flying up through the field once when I was up there towards the front. Dunn was up there with me, and I forget who else. And next thing I know, I see him flying up through the field, and I was just thinking he's going to win the race. And sure enough, pulls up, fights Dunn off, or William there for a few laps, and then gets around him and takes off, and just checked out. Yeah,
that his Chevrolet SS was definitely strong, but I saw the colours on your car were fantastic. The Delwatt paint job you got there, Jaggies Racing. Is there anyone you want to do a shout out and thank?
I just want to thank Alan Pajari and those who put on this league. It's a good group of guys to run out here, and yeah, it's fun. And thank you guys for broadcasting it. Definitely gonna go check that out after this, and hopefully see y'all next week.
Fantastic. Well, as you're probably already aware, next week you're going to be racing in Texas, 334 laps, so fingers crossed for you there, Nicholas. But thank you very much for giving us a couple of minutes of your time after the race, and well done on the third place, and good luck for next week.
Yep, thank you.
Well, there we had it with third place, Nicholas Ward there in the 97 machine. He did put on a good hard run. I think there's been some problems trying to get a hold of both William Dunn and our race winner, or dominator, as we should call him, the Bristol sweeper, Dylan Fitzpatrick. Jacob, is there anything you want to your thoughts on tonight's race?
Shocked. I'm still in awe of what Dylan Fitzpatrick did tonight here at Bristol. They had a room set up strictly to do 3 hours long worth of racing. They still have an hour and a half left in this session, and that hour and a half left in this session is a credit to these racers. They raced clean for 150 laps, I believe, from the last caution to the checkered flag, and that's all it took was 150 laps for Dylan Fitzpatrick theoretically to run through the entire field and lap them and put on the clinic like he did. Great race though all around. It was a shame to see a lot of these guys wreck out, but it was also nice to see some of the competitors who finished the race. Prime example, Jimbo Hickson. He was 83 laps down, but he still raced to finish the race. Great group of guys here, and again, I can't send out another thanks again to All Pro Racing putting on the broadcast tonight. State of the art running here. Michael D'Amico does a heck of a job up there in the booth with the cameras. If you guys understood what it took to manhandle the upwards of 30 different cameras on these tracks, all by the click of a keyboard and your mouse, trying to direct which ones go where. My hat's off to him and our tech crew. Well, tech crew is Michael D'Amico, but also to you, Andrew. Great job tonight here in the tower. I certainly enjoyed it, and I hope we can come back here next week to Texas. And if not, it's still warm up here for JP3 and Mitchell Reeves to come on back up if they want their seats back.
Yeah, absolutely there, Jacob. It's been fantastic with you in the booth with me tonight. I always look after the IndyCar races as well as filling as much as I can everywhere else. But from everyone here at All Pro Racing Broadcast, All Pro Racing, please don't hesitate, look us up on Facebook, All Pro Racing, as well as look up our league information. Massive thanks again goes to Michelangelo's Paintings, one of our sponsors, as well as Michael Domingo, as you said, Jacob and I. Hats off to you, Michael. Excellent job tonight. But from all of us here at All Pro Racing, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in tonight for the Bristol Motor Speedway 250 laps Winter NIS Fix Series. And we look forward to seeing you guys next time when we take on the racetrack for next week at Texas Motor Speedway for 334 laps. And on behalf of myself and Jacob and I, you guys have a lovely night. Take care.